Alright, hello YouTube, this is Chris with Justice League Swag, and this is Brian with his Chaos deck, which won first place in our local shop champion.
Forgot the undefeated.
Shut up.
Without losing a game.
2-0, 2-0,
2-0 everybody. I'm gonna start with the Gear Gods. Buddy's the OG Gear God. It's the best Gear God. Three of that one. Like, 3 of the Overkill Gear God. I assume people know what these do. I really hope they know what these do.
Yeah.
I assume too.
Yeah, you just have to explain combos.
Like this carried me through games. You kind of you call 3 counter destruction dudes, and you just make them cry because they have no field. Spells the machine sacrifice, or no, what was it, population reduction, pay a life, sack a dude, draw 2 cards. Use it to free up space for the Gear Gods, and that way you could just keep cycling your drop. Machine sacrifice. Use that to sack one of your dudes to call another dude from the drop, so it's more counter removal. And then one who comes from Havoc, the pay gauge, draw 2. Just more draw power. Draw cards. These draw cards. Before Dellerbeck. Before Osiris. You can't play the deck. You can't play the deck without 4 of each of these. This is, 4 Darrowback to check top 3, add a card. Osiris. If you have a monster in the center, I'm gonna enter this gauge and draw. Klein. Yeah, Klein. Put 2 monsters in a spell at the bottom of the deck. Draw a card, gain a life, and gain a gauge. And
so
then,
when you overkill with all of them on the field, it's just like insane.
if you overkill, you usually don't overkill to call these, but if you do, you just out advantage them. There's really nothing they can do. And then you have Alberion. You don't really need this, but this is nice because you can sack it with Machining Sacrifice or Reduction, and you still draw another card and fill up your drop faster. And these are what you call. Rising Flare. When I call it, it's free. And when you call it, you mill the top. You choose a monster and you mill the top 3. If you mill the size 3 or greater, you pop the monster. If you mill 3 monsters, you draw a card. So it's removal that you also draw a card. It cancels itself. And then 3 Edwards. It's removal that also forward. It's removal that also bounces things. So especially against Athora, if you can just counter call all 3 of them, you just win because they can't do anything. 2 Ibukis because it's counter removal, and if you call from the Overkill or Sacrifice, it destroys any card instead of just a monster. And then I don't even know what this guy's called. Lumiere. When it's called and destroyed from an effect, you pop a monster, and then it's got penetrate and double attack. I mean, it's okay. You really use it just because it's got double attack and it's destruction.
Overkill, call it, destroy a card.
Pretty much. 2 Aquario because you want more gauge, because there's a lot of gauge cards in this. Like the Edward and the Lumiere, both cost 2 gauge. Overkill costs 3 gauge. The Gear God costs 2 gauge. 2 Zodiacs because this auto wins against bats. Like if you counter call this again in front of bots, they just scoop. Like they very rarely can actually kill this, and even if they do, they lose out in their entire kill turn. And then the 1-ups. 1 Talica, you'll never deck out, ever, unless they just don't swing at you, which at that point they're dead anyway. I don't know what this is called either. Campari. When it swings and you have 2 or more other monsters, you gain 2 life. It's got double attack, so this is really nice against Athora. Because even if they overturn, you're still gaining a life every time you swing, so the burn doesn't hurt you as much. 1 Slime, because it stops move, but that doesn't matter. You stop monsters from being called from the drop zone. And that destroys the mirror match. Like, they just can't do anything if you play a Slime. Gorgist, pay gauge, tap it to get a monster from your drop zone. It's just more cycling. And then Lattice the Chaos, my favorite card. You pay 2 gauge and pitch a monster to nullify a spell. Or you can discard a monster to keep them on the field. You could cheese out so many games with Lattice. It's ridiculous. That's the deck. I don't think I ever actually cited.
No, you did not.
Power. Because you don't